Hey guys, so I got an apprentice here in the shop that was helping me, and he took it upon himself to try to take my job out of the BN-20 and then laminate it, but without me there to show him, made a mistake, and I want to show you guys and how to save that job. Okay, so these crop marks here, you got to make sure your machine prints your crop marks when you cut. So this one's okay, but I wanted to point that out. So I'm going to start a job. Okay, so I'm here in Adobe Illustrator, and I'm just going to do just a basic American flag. The design portion of this demonstration is really not important. I don't know why my workspace always changes on me, but okay. But anyway, I always do that. I'll start rambling. Okay, so we're gonna just do this basic black and white American flag. Cut lines look good. Okay. I'm gonna go to my layers, make sure my cut contour's on top. Okay, good. So let's do that at about, let's do 3 inches, which makes that about 3 by 2, your standard American flag size. Okay. Now, I'm trying to hold this camera while I'm doing this. Sorry if it's wobbly. Okay, so let's instead of nesting this, I'm just going to do just a repeat here. Okay, so there's one row of American flags. Let's do 2 since we're going to be doing this. Okay, so there's 2 rows. All right. Now I want to make sure my artboard's good. Let's save this. I got a folder for orders. American flag. Oops, we don't want that as an SVG. EPS. Okay. Everything looks good. I'm not going to go through the settings just yet. So here in VersaWorks, I'm going to load that job I just made. Okay. And it is here. All right. So I get a lot of customers asking me to do a video on crop marks. I'll just show you right now what I do. So I'll get media width. Now everything on this end on your media settings doesn't need to be messed with for this one. I'll do my monomeric vinyl. Okay, now right here on your mark tab, you want to make sure your crop mark is selected. Okay. Now you can change it for each row, but I don't mess with those settings. And for trim marks, I don't add trim marks also. Just don't need them. I always cut where I need to. But that's crop marks. It's pretty basic. There are more things to it, but really nothing too bad. But okay, so I'm gonna check now. As you see, I got the dancing ant, so it's gonna cut just fine. So I'm gonna do print only. Hit OK. Print. My machine's already set up. Print. Okay, so this is gonna run this job. What I'm gonna do when it comes out is I'm gonna cut it so there's not enough room from that crop mark to the end of the sheet, and I'll show you how to fix that so you don't have to ruin or throw away the job. But the most important thing is you don't do it in the first place. But if you do, this is just something I do or can do or I have done because, trial and error. But yeah. All right, so the flags are all done. We're gonna go ahead and take this out. Now, if you're cutting out by hand, I mean, obviously these are square, so they're gonna be fine. But gosh darn it, I just realized you need 2.5 inches at least right here, right? Oh man, dang it! And I only got about 1 3/4 inches. So I have other jobs that are circular, have a lot of curves and stuff. You don't want to hand cut all that, but you don't want to throw it away either. And maybe these were bad to use because they're square, real easy to cut out, but it's an example. So I need to add more space right here. So let me show you. What I do, now you can go to your machine, pull a piece out, cut it off if you want. I'm all about not wasting stuff, of course, as you might know. So, if I can... Sorry, I'm just looking for a piece of scrap. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do that. Okay, so I just cut out a piece here. And I want to show you also. I'm going to load this in like this, okay? Okay, so we're going to run the job. So I'm going to come over here to my VersaWorks. We're going to do cut only. Don't really care about the settings there just yet because it's, well, yeah, it doesn't matter. Okay, hit print. Now watch what happens. So your first 2 crop marks are gonna read just fine, okay? When it gets to that one in the back, see? Not enough material in the back. So I cut it off too short is what I did. All right, so let's solve that problem. I mean, again, to solve the problem, just don't do it, is what I'm saying. So we need to add more back here. All right, so I'm gonna take this piece of scrap, okay? All right, so I take this piece of scrap and I will line this up right exactly where I need it. Put a piece of tape there. Piece of tape here. Okay, now I can tape this whole thing. That's fine. But now I've done this before. There's that gap in there. See that little gap? All right, so let me find a piece of Oracal. Had a perfectly good piece of scrap just sitting there. And I went and cut some more off the machine. All right, so I got some crop marks cut out here. I'm gonna just get rid of those real quick. All right, so you take this off. And then I just put this right on there, like so. Grab my roller. Okay, so what I've done here is I've added a piece of scrap to the back of this sheet to trick the machine into thinking that it's long enough. Usually I won't have to trim here on the ends. Yeah, let's choose some color here. I got OCD with certain things, so bear with me. All right. So let's load this back up. One thing I do, I usually put a mark on the end here. If it's really far in, I'll put a mark there to show you, to line it up with that cutting pad. But what I've kind of been doing is I'll put my finger down, press so it stays in the middle. Then with my other hand, I'll come over here and line this side up. Now I can't do that right now because I got the camera in my hand, but I can get it close. But that's one way that I do that. All right, that looks okay. Now let's load this, or run this baby again and see what happens. Get all my dang windows out of the way here. Okay, same job. Remember, I tried to run it. It wouldn't go because of the shortness in the back of the job there. I'm going to just run through, check my settings again really quick. This time I'm going to do 60 on my pressure since this is going to be the... Okay, so this is either going to make me look kind of smart or kind of like a dummy. First crop mark good. Remember that third crop mark. That's the one we need. See that? The light is green, the trap is clean. So what I did there was I saved the job just adding some scrap in the back. So if you ever cut off a little bit and you realize, oh crap, I took too much off, that's a really great way to fix that problem. I've done it before where I've actually added a piece because I've cut the crop mark off in the back, but I've actually added a piece with the crop marks. That's a little trickier. You gotta get a little creative with your math, but that's it, guys. That's how you save your job. Hope this was kind of helpful. I know it's a preventative. You know, you don't want to do that in the first place, but if you do, that's one way to fix it. Thanks for watching.